Now, I don't know. I thought that I was going to get Dante to make a cameo for you, because while I was setting everything up, he was all over here, purring all over me, rubbing all over me. And then by the time I'm ready to go live, he's sauntered out of the room. So, no cameo. I'm sorry. He's so pretty, though. When I came in, he was on the baby cat tower that we bought them when they were kittens. Mostly because I thought I was getting much smaller kittens than we ended up adopting. He was asleep in the little hammock bed. He takes up the whole bed now. So I was like, let me go get my phone and take this picture because he's super cute. And then what I want to do is go find an old picture where he didn't take up the whole bed. Because he's like, I knew he was going to be big because his paws were huge. He's finally starting to develop that little primordial pouch, little belly hang that cats have, which it protects their internal organs. So I think he's finished growing now. It'll be interesting when we take him in for his year visit to see how big he's gotten. He's a big boy. He can reach my waist when he's standing on, when he stretches up. He's a big boy. Okay, but you're not here to listen to me talk about my cat. You're here for a new design for living. So let's do the housekeeping and then we'll get into the new design because we're starting chapter 3 today. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact, email, info@creativelife.org. If you join the mailing list, you get 1 email a week that lets you know what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot, so click here now, means it. It'll take you either right to the information or the person that can help you get it. And it is a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And when I say 1 email a week, I mean it. It's a real person doing it, and he just doesn't have time for more than that. And more importantly than that, he also, the only reason you would get more than one is if something unusual happened. We live on the Gulf Coast. It's usually weather related. So, there's that. Okay. And then the last thing is the social medias, and I only mention them from the standpoint of, we are doing this on social media. We don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is go engage with the pages. Like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you are on. If you allow notifications, then it'll let you know when either we go live or upload new videos. And then engage with the individual posts by reacting to the post, commenting on the post, sharing the posts. It is a free and easy way that you can support the center. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, based on which platform you are on. So we're pretty easy to find. And I am the running Rev Ryan on all of the social medias that I am on. I no longer run, but I'm not ready to change it because there is the dream that I may be able to get back to running. Whew. Right now, that's pretty much the only place I do run right now, though, is in my dreams. So, not that I want my, monikers to be any longer. It's like the dream, the running, the dreaming running Rev Ryan. I don't know. No, I'm not going to do it. They're long enough as it is. Okay, so we are doing a new design for living, and a new design for living was written towards the end of Ernest Holmes' life. And I think that basically he wanted to kind of get this process down. How you can use science of mind to change your life. And it really is about changing your patterns of thinking. And he's giving us step-by-step ways to do that. So, yeah. So that is what we are up to today. We are up to chapter 3. And I like it because they're short and they're punchy. But he gives you plenty to go away and think about, which is why I'm doing them in the short and punchy. So chapter 3 is don't limit yourself. And we're going to start out with a quote from Erwin Schrödinger that I, in the widest meaning of the word, that is to say, every conscious mind that has ever said or felt I am the person, if any, who controls the motions of the atoms according to the laws of nature. Edwin Schrödinger. All right, so if it is true that it is done unto us as we believe, it becomes apparent that there must be something that does something according to our belief, but that this something is limited in its doing according to the way we think. Okay, but that this something is limited in its doing according to the way we think. Hence, we are confronted with the necessity of enlarging our concepts and of thinking clearly. Mm-hmm. Enlarging our concepts and thinking clearly. Because when we think messy, at what thread do you pull there? We have found that there is an ultimate but unseen reality or cause back of all things. We have also discovered that our own mind or consciousness is part of the infinite mind, and as a result partakes in its nature, or of its nature. A sign of the times is that in all fields of scientific inquiry, it is becoming more and more evident that the creative power of our minds stems from the creative nature of the universe itself. Mathematician A. Cressy Morrison wrote, "Progress has now been sufficient for us to see that God seems to be giving humanity a spark of its own intelligence. Once we step into the laboratory of our own minds, we will discover this for ourselves and realize that our thought is creative in all aspects of our experience. What we need to do is to learn to use it specifically for the good we desire." The truth is, we're using it all the time. So here's where we want to learn to use it specifically. The use of it for the creation of good in our experience has been designated by many different names. Creative affirmative prayer, meditation, spiritual mind treatment, positive thinking. It doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't matter what you care to call it. The fact is established that a certain directed process of thought, an intangible and unseen thing, does have an effect on our experience and on our relationship to the world in which we live. So that's the intro to the chapter. The next title is Remove Superstitions. We have come to realize that mind in action is a creative law which is everywhere and at all times operative. It is a neutral and impersonal force as far as we are concerned. This applies to all law, regardless of its nature. Otherwise, it would not be universal and hence would not be a law. This may raise the question of whether the impersonal operation of the law of mind implies that there is something opposed to God and to infinite intelligence. Whether there is God and a devil, whether there is good and bad in the universe, or whether there are two final powers forever in opposition to each other. But such is not the case. Rightly considered, conclusions of this type are based on superstition and figments of the imagination, not on the evidence we may discover within our own minds or in the world about us. Consider the nature of the soil of the earth, the medium in which seeds rest and find the substance for their growth and development. There is nothing withholding on the part of soil of anything in which the seeds need. The seed needs. Okay. Ernest must have been a good gardener. That's all I can say. Okay, so there is no withholding on the part of the soil of anything in which the seed needs. The soil is impartial, giving alike to all seeds, be it a flower or a weed. The seed supplies to each its needs according to the demands that are made upon it. If we plant weeds in our gardens, weeds will grow. If it does no good to plant weeds and wish they were flowers. I just like that phrase. I'm going to remember that one. It does no good to plant weeds and wish they were flowers. But we can choose to plant flowers and uproot any weeds that may have drifted in. In the same way, we can plant in our minds desirable thoughts and learn to discard those thoughts which are undesirable. The law of mind always acts, and the result of that action is always in perfect accord with the nature of the thought that was the motivation. However, it must not be overlooked that back of the reaction of the law to our thought, that is that, hang on, where am I going here? Let me just start this paragraph over. No, I don't need to start the paragraph over. I need to start that sentence over. However, it must not be overlooked that back of the reaction of the law to our thought, there is that divine and infinite intelligence which will guide us rightly in our choice of thought if we recognize it and let it. All right. Yep. Tomorrow we will do Things Can Change and the way the law works. Because Things Can Change is short. So, now, let's go back to the superstition thing. I've heard lots of arguments about why the devil doesn't exist. And honestly, I don't believe in the devil. I never have. I just think people make choices and then they want to blame it on something. So they have created this devil. And honestly, most devils, if you go back and study world mythology, which I have done, most devils are gods in other people's pantheons. So, like, I'm just like, no, you know what? No. I just never believed. Again, like I said, because most of the time I just think humans want to do bad things and they don't want to take personal responsibility for the bad things that they want to do. So, but I have never actually thought about that rational explanation of the soil. And it makes perfect sense to me, because he's right. The soil is impartial. It does not care what you plant in it. It will produce whatever is planted in it. There's nothing opposing it. Interesting. And rational. Although I believe that not necessarily the first part about me believing that people want to do bad things and blame something, but the second part is a rational explanation. When you go back and look at all of the representations of devils, if you look at the nearby religions that are not whatever is calling it the devil, that's what you see. Almost every devil I've come across has always been just a god in another pantheon that they are fighting against. Humanity's tribal instincts are generally what get us into a lot of trouble. But that is my anthropology rearing its head going, hey, you know what? There's a rational explanation for this. So I love superstitions from the standpoint of they're interesting, the stories that we tell ourselves. The fact that we tend to hold on to them, that is problematical. So, All right, beloveds, I'm going to move on to the process of my day. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, we got this day, please drink plenty of water day. We're going to break records for heat for the next 3 days. We're going to be 84 for the next 3 days. I'm not thrilled. So please drink plenty of water. Please be aware of the heat. Because it's January and we're 20 degrees above. So enjoy and do whatever it is that you need to do in this warmer weather. And if you're somewhere cooler, then, bundle up, please. And I lost track of what I was doing. So, cuddle your fur babies day, take a break day, make sure that you take some time for yourself day, but do what you got to do day. Whatever it is that you got to do, know that it will get done day. And a good day, because apparently I'm out of words day, and if that's too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough. Just as you are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Okay? Comparison is the thief of joy. It's a new phrase that I've learned. I like it. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. So explore the truth of your being. Okay? Get to know who the divine knows you to be. The divine knows you to be good. It is all the divine knows. That is what Ernest has been teaching us. It is all the divine knows. So, from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move on to the process of my day. So I'm going to remind